Good evening and welcome back to the Coach Jones Show. It's sticker night here at the Field House, live from Charlton County High School. I'm Adam Bell for Charlton Sportsnet, along with Indians head coach Jones and Sammy Hendricks hosting tonight's show. Sammy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. All
right, I'm going to turn it over to you, Sammy.
All right, Coach.
Thanks for having us, Coach.
Coach, thanks for taking a minute to join us. We come in here a while ago and you was wide open, walking through the crowd.
Minutes are few and far between this time of year.
Normally, I come in here with a whole page full of questions for you, but opening week, they ain't got a whole lot right now, but it'll come for sure.
We got plenty to talk about, trust me.
First of all, just real quick, just go over what this night meant to you and the team. The kids had their parents here helping them sticker their helmets. That had to mean a lot to the parents as well as the kids and yourselves and the coaches.
Well, this night, aside from all the other stuff that you guys missed, we had a little small parent meeting. We were able to talk about some stuff that our quarterback club is doing, new this year. But like I said, the first thing I said to everybody is this night means the start of football season. And something unique that we do for our kids is not only do we allow their families to help sticker their helmets, but they also decorate their lockers. And they decorate the lockers as a sign of, every day is not going to be a sunny day, or some days are going to be or some days are going to shine the brightest on you. And allowing families to put inspirational messages or quotes, or, we got some parents that have gotten really creative. But football's up and down, life's up and down. And so, when our kids report here every day for football practice and they may be having a tough day, they look in that locker and somebody has, decorated their locker and gave them something inspirational, that means more than anything. So,
Coach, we're sitting here on the table. We've got two helmets with us on the table right here. Looks like the team got some new helmets. Tell us a little bit about those and how they came about.
Yeah, not really new. There's just different styles of helmets now. And so one of the things that, we did this year is we went to a matte black finish on all the helmets. And the spear is the same exact spear, but it's got a little chrome accent to it that'll really should make it shine and pop in. And so same tradition, new bit of flavor to it. The kids really have loved it. I think it honors, every color that is in the school crest, and it's really professional looking.
Yeah. Coach, before we dig in any further here real quick, we got a special guest here with us. You want to go ahead and bring this young man in and get him on the radio real quick?
Yeah, I'm going to bring this young man in. This young man coming in is grown to be really, really special to my heart. This past 4th of July, I was in South Florida celebrating the holiday with my family, and got a call that and I'm gonna let you sit down here in just a second, Quincy. That no coach wants to get, and it's that one of my players, Quincy Milton, had gotten in a terrible accident involving some fireworks, and had to be rushed to the hospital, and it just wasn't good. And I was actually told by one of the players, and then I started scrambling because I was 6.5 hours away, and it's just a really scary thing. So we actually, on the drop of a dime, we were able to get a little prayer vigil started for him, really not even 2 days later, right here in this field house. And I think we had to have well over 125 people in here and it was just a collection of folks here in Charlton County that came together to pray for this young man. So went and visited him a few times in the hospital, and the first time I saw him, I won't lie, it was a sight that, I don't know that I let him know this, but it was just a scary sight. And my family that were down in Fort Pierce with me know I shed real tears, and I cried real tears, not knowing how serious this was or if this young man would make it, but asking the Lord for his will to be done. So just being able to see him being in my presence each and every day is such a blessing, and it really not just adds value, but it keeps my why of why I do this. You care about the kids, and so to have him here in the flesh and to be able to see him and hug him and check on him every day, we can't wait for him to make his full return, but the most important thing is that he's here. So, Quincy, if you want to come sit down right here and say a few words.
Quincy, first of all, man, just want to appreciate you taking the time out to come join us on the on the Coach Jones Show. So tell us how you're doing, man, since your accident happened.
I'm doing good. I done healed fast and everything. I also want to thank everybody that came out and prayed over me, and the ones that didn't make it came and prayed. I want to say thank y'all, and the visitors and everybody that's been calling and texting. I want to say thank y'all.
Yeah. Well, how are you doing physically? I see you got a wrap there on your left. Is that a cast or is that just a wrap?
That's a soft cast.
So
Yes, sir.
how are you doing physically as far as that goes?
Oh, real good.
Real good.
I have a appointment Monday. Supposed to get my pen out. So after that, just full recovery. Waiting on come back.
Well, I used to work over here at the sheriff's office, and I heard about the accident when it happened. And from what I heard, it does look bad. And I was heard that it was really bad. And I just was thinking about the injured kid. I didn't know it was you. Didn't know who it was.
Yes,
we just
sir.
had somebody had a fireworks accident.
Yes,
Heard Coach Jones speak there real quick a while ago about how him and the players, they many prayers for you. How does that make you feel?
It made me feel good, and that I know I have a team that's behind me and support me, the same as I support them. I feel good.
Okay. So after you get that pin out, do you think you're going to be able to get back on the field this year, or is it going to be next year? So you running back and outside linebacker.
Yes, sir.
What are you seeing from your teammates right now on both sides of the ball?
I'm good. If we work as a team, put everything good. Yes, sir.
Okay, Brantley coming up this week. You probably play them on the JV some, or probably maybe in the middle school this week. You won't get to play, but you'll be out there with your teammates. What do you think about Brantley County this year?
I feel like we got it. If we work as a team and play as a team, we can dominate the whole season.
Okay. Well, Quincy, man, hey, man, we appreciate you taking a minute to join us and give you a few words. Hope everything continues to go with you on your recovery.
Yes, sir.
And see you back on the field real soon.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Just hang tight.
Yes, sir.
This time we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
So, tell us, how long have you known?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Then why don't you explain this, Mark? Found this in your house.
You ignored it, didn't you? I thought I had more time.
Really, Mark? Does this look like you had more time? You know what you should have done, right?
I should have called True Force.
Well, now you can.
Ignoring the signs won't make the problem go away. Call True Force Roofing today.
In your time of need, give Rob Robertson a call at 912-496-7388. Shepherd Robertson Funeral Home says go Indians.
ESP Specialist in Fabrication is located at 169 Little Phoebe Church Road in Folkestone, Georgia. President Mark Pickering and his employees utilize the latest technology with a skilled workforce to supply customers with the best custom fabrication possible. Serving clients at home and abroad makes ESP a premier employer in Charlton County. For all your specialty and fabrication needs, contact ESP at 912-496-2583 today. They're also on Facebook at ESP Specialist Fabrication. ESP is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sportsnet.
AGM Packaging Corporation is one of America's leading manufacturers of sustainably sourced and produced disposable paper products, including paper plates, cups, bowls, and bags. AGM is a family-owned business that was founded in 1957, and our family values are still present today across all locations. We are currently growing and have several career opportunities that offer competitive compensation, advancement opportunities, and employer-paid benefits. Please apply at agmpack.com/careers or come to our facility at 569 Bowery Lane in Folkestone to fill out an application today. We look forward to meeting and greeting you at our facility.
Charlton Electric, serving Charlton and surrounding counties with over 20 years experience in both commercial and residential services. Our electricians can meet your needs. We offer installation on whole house generators, service upgrades for mobile home services, troubleshooting, ceiling fan and light fixtures, and much more. Call us today for an estimate, 912-496-4528.
All right, welcome back to the Coach Jones Show. I'm Sammy Hendricks, along with Coach Jones, Adam Bell. Coach, you got a bunch of the seniors in here now going to come and join us, say a few words. First of all, looking at the roster, we got 13 seniors on the team this year, according to the roster that I got. Tell us a little bit about some of the seniors before we get them in and let them talk themselves.
Obviously, a lot of these guys have played a lot of football, not just for the high school, but for the county in general in different settings. So I'm sure this is an emotional time for them and their families coming up their senior year. For me, this is my second class here, and I am so excited for as hard as this group has worked. We've continued to push our kids to be leaders in many different facets, and so I'm ready to see what this senior class is willing to do to will our team to victory, each and every Friday. But for us, it really starts, on Monday in the weight room and then continues on out. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing, what this senior class is willing to do. And I'm just excited for the types of different personalities that we have. What's interesting to me is I can hardly get any of them to talk, but we got a line. I mean, most folks, we got a line of guys, ready to talk. So I'm interested to see what they're going to say. They know not to say anything crazy, but I am ready. This is my favorite part of the show, and this is something as we continue on. I would love to start getting our players of the week and getting a senior each week to kind of spotlight them. But I am really excited to have them on the show today.
All right, well, we'll start off right there with senior Brandon Woolard, if he wants to come on over and put the headset on. Brandon, first of all, thank you for joining us here on the Coach Jones Show. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right. Opening week, Brantley County coming, or actually we're going to Brantley County this week on Friday, going over to the Nest, they call it,
yes,
to get the season started. Tell us a little about what's been going on this week in preparation for Friday night.
Yeah, Brandon, tell us.
Basically, we just coming out, making sure we prepare and mentally and physically for Brantley. I mean, I really feel like we got this. I feel like we could come together as a team and, probably improve on our mistakes and stuff that we had last 2 weeks ago with Berrien.
Okay, I would consider you one of the leaders back there in the secondary. Tell us about your group of guys back there that's helping you protect these passes.
I feel like we got a good group back there. Some throughout the game we have mistakes, but we always end up coming back with a good play and making up for it.
Okay. Tell us about your difference when you get on the offense side of the ball, going out for passes. Where do you think your athletic ability in the secondary helps you out as a receiver?
Honestly, offensive-wise, I feel like since I play both ways, I know how to read the field. I would know where the open windows are. If I could tell what coverage they're in, I would know where the open windows are in many different defenses that we have played.
I know you guys have probably watched a little bit of what you could get a film of Brantley County. You played against them last year. They got that big, tall quarterback that can throw the ball really good. So if nothing's changed, they're probably going to put the ball in the air a lot. How do you guys prepare for him?
Well, we're going to come back. The defensive group, the DBs, we're going to watch out for him.
All right. Okay, Brandon. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining us.
Love you, Brandon. Thanks.
Love you too, Coach Jones.
Joseph, come on in here.
Oh. So, Sammy, Joseph has had a nickname that everyone – this is Jay-Z.
Jay-Z?
Yeah, this is the real Jay-Z.
Well, I'm going to put that on my lineup so I can use that on Friday night.
Good gracious. You got to love him. Got to love him. He's coming up here rearranging stuff. Joseph's coming up here moving stuff.
Joseph, first of all, man, appreciate you for joining us on the Coach Jones Show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Tell us how things are going this week in preparation for Brantley County Friday night.
I think it's been going good. I think it could have been better, and I think it will be better as the week goes on, and we'll be ready for Friday night.
Yeah. Talking about the scrimmage real quick from 2 weeks ago or last week, whenever it was, quarterbacks didn't have a whole lot of time to throw the ball in the backfield. You being a leader on the offensive line, what if you went to your guys and said that we need to do better to allow our quarterback to drop back and look for a receiver and throw the ball?
I mean, I just told them we need to communicate more. There's miscommunication, let some guys get through. And then other than that, I've been just telling them just hold on to the blocks, block your tail off.
So tell us a little bit what you're expecting on Friday night against Brantley County.
I'm expecting them to be rough. They're going to come off the ball hard. They're going to hit. Not going to be soft by any means.
All right. Coach, you got anything you want to add to this?
No, I always appreciate having Joseph on things where I get to hear him talk. He's got a true Southern drawl. So I love when we score. He comes off the field and he's just amped up. So hoping to see a lot of that Friday. But I really appreciate him. He's he's a steady and consistent guy. Joseph's going to do what you ask him to do when you ask him to do it. So appreciate you, Joseph.
Good luck to you guys on Friday night, and I'll make sure I get that Jay-Z in there on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, Coach, real quick before we leave, I want to ask you about that pancake block against Union County. You drove that boy 20 yards down the field and over the other sideline. Talk about that. You stayed with him the whole way.
I just need to finish the block. Need to make a hole for a running back. That's all I was thinking about, was just finish the block.
I know how to coach him now. Tell him to finish the ball. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Marty, come on in here. Marty, appreciate you joining us here on the Coach Jones Show.
You want to ask him what his real nickname is?
Marty, what's your real nickname?
Mari.
No, you're my headache, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes, he knows he's my headache.
Well, you got to give me a hint there so I can put it on the radio, TV.
I will remind you. Omar calls me anytime he wants, don't you, Omar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marty, senior, opening game coming up this week against Brantley County. How are you guys preparing for the Herons on Friday night?
What to say?
He said, how do we prepare for Brantley County?
Oh, we've been putting in extra work in the weight room, doing what the coaches want us to do.
Okay. How have you planned yourself? What have you done to get mentally prepared for it as a senior? You know, this is your at least last 10 games. Hopefully it'll be a whole lot more than that, but 10 games left as a high school football player.
All thing I've been doing is being coachable and just doing what the coaches tell me what to do.
Okay. Your running game goes most of the time as your offensive line blocks. The better they block, the better running game goes. Have you went to your offensive lineman and talked to them, you know, look, I'll give you 200 yards a game if you guys do your job. If you guys got that kind of communication with one another?
Yes, sir. We do.
Okay. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Good luck to you Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Trey.
Y'all are changing up. We're going to go out with the old and in with the new.
Okay.
There we go.
Trey, first of all, appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
Senior year here at Charlton County High School. This is your second year playing here, correct?
Yes, sir.
I know you playing on both sides of the ball, wide receiver and cornerback.
Yes, sir.
How do you prepare for that, knowing that you're going to be on both sides on Friday night?
Well, we've been practice. Just getting the mindset, like prepare myself. Like just gotta do what I gotta do.
Well, you got to be in even extra special shape, I would think, to play both sides of the ball. What have you done to keep yourself conditioned?
If he doesn't know the answer, I can help him.
Yeah.
The running and rolling helps.
Running and rolling.
Yeah, it starts in the weight room. We do a lot in the weight room. Our weight room is designed to be our strength and conditioning catalyst, and so we've been hard at it since really the first of the year. But this time of year, the running, the rolling, the extra stuff that we're doing in practice, we try to practice in such a way that we want to play. So that definitely helps get our guys in shape.
Right.
And again, it's like Omar said, they don't necessarily know what they're doing or need to know. It's whatever we're asking them to do.
Well, you was here last year when we played Brantley County, and like I said too, I think it was Brandon a while ago. If nothing changes, they got a quarterback back there, a real tall kid that can throw the ball over the field. What have you done to prepare for him?
Really just watching film on him, and we'll come out and practice and just prepare for it.
Okay. Well, Trey, good luck to you on Friday night, man. Bring home that win.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Trey.
All right, Trevin. Trevin, thanks for joining us on the Coach Jones Show here. Just a couple of questions for you. Senior year, opening week this week against Brantley County. You've been there and played them many times over here in Charlton County. Where do we expect to see you most on the field Friday night, offense or defense side of the ball?
Really both. I start on both sides of the ball.
Okay. And I've asked the other cornerbacks, or defensive backs is over here, the Hendricks kid that plays quarterback for Brantley. Last year he threw the ball a lot. He had some yards against us, but we shut them down and beat them. How you prepare for him this year?
I mean, we've been watching film, and I ain't played defense last year in the secondary. This year it's going to be different.
Well, how's it going to be different? Tell me what you as guys as a team is going to make it different.
We got more weapons on defense, I feel like, this year. And I feel like we could be a strong defensive team with the D-line and the secondary.
Well, you being a leader back there, what have you said to the guys to make you guys better?
We just got to lock in. We got to watch film on them and study them.
Yeah. You got a nickname you need to give me so I can put on my roster so I can call it through the game?
Yeah, if Omar is my headache, Trevor's my migraine. No, they really are good. I'm going to tell you that they don't probably know this, but I've been a part of it, have coaches that I still talk to. These relationships, these little small moments that we have together, it's stuff that I know that I always take away and remember, and I would hope that when they become grown and you know, hopefully have families and are getting themselves back involved in something, that they will remember moments between us. So I say that in love. Omari and Trevor, all of my seniors, I've got, in my mind, special relationships with all of them in different kinds of ways. So it's interesting even to see the last, you know, few that are sitting here waiting to talk. I've got a rapport with all of them in some type of way that when I think of them, like when I think of Trevor, I smile because there's certain things that I know that he's overcome. There's certain things that I know, you know, when he's got his mind focused on something, he's going to go 100 miles an hour, which makes us coach him even harder because we know it's there. I mean, we need to see it all the time. And so I say that in love, that these are the moments and times for me that are most special now that the season's getting ready to start, because the pressure's enough. You know, the folks around you are going to put pressure on the situation. I'm here to, you know, make sure that our kids have what they need, they feel loved, they feel safe, and are being prepared for what we're going to ask them to do. So, I love Trevor and I love all my kids, but I love him. I'm really going to miss him and all my seniors in different ways.
All right. Okay, Trevor, appreciate you joining us, man, and good luck Friday night.
Thank you.
All right, Jeremiah.
He's probably got the funnest nickname. This is Germs.
Germs.
Isn't that right? Yes. Not germ, a single germ, but germs.
Jeremiah, appreciate you joining us here on the Coach Jones Show. Senior ending, starting your senior season, coming up this Friday night. A leader on the offensive line. How you guys on the O-line preparing for Friday night's game?
Well, we working a lot hard at practice, you know, trying to get all the footsteps in, make sure our slides are right, make sure we have everything right for the run game and the pass game.
You know, one thing that we've noticed over the last couple of years, last year, and then we noticed the other night in the scrimmage, one of the issues the offensive line has had this year, other than a little bit of pass blocking, run blocking has been pretty good, but one of the things that we've had issues is getting the snap off, getting good snap off. What have you as a senior, what have you went to your center and asked or said, you know, hey, we got to get the offensive play can't happen if the snap don't get off. What have you said to him to give him some confidence to get his snaps right?
Try not to break him down, build him back up when he make a bad snap, but make sure he still get the accountability for the bad snap, and like just make sure he get snaps before practice and after practice so he get the snap perfect.
Right. So you guys as offensive line, you know, offense goes as you guys go. What have y'all talked about that y'all need to do to prepare for Friday?
Make sure we have all our people. Make sure we see the backers. Make sure we run the play right. Make sure everybody on the line knows what to do so we can execute the play.
Okay. How's it been to play under Coach Jones for the last couple of years?
It's been fun. Had some ups and downs, but Coach Jones, he's a real good coach, and we all love him on the team.
Okay. So I can use Germ as your nickname on the webcast Friday night?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Appreciate you joining us, and good luck Friday night.
That's good. Jason.
Yep.
Hello. Sometime today.
Oh.
Come on up, son.
All right, Jason. Appreciate you joining us on the Coach Jones Show. Going into your senior year, open the week this week against Brantley County. I know you played against them before. Tell us what you expect when you go over to the nest there in Nahunta, get ready to play the Herons.
Expect for us to do what we need to do, get the ball off, catch the ball, get in the end zone, put up as many points as possible, and do what we need to do.
You've been a senior back there especially on the defense side. If you're in there at linebacker, I would think you're probably one of the ones in control of giving signals and making play calls. How you prepare for that?
We've been practicing really hard these last few weeks, last few months. Over the summer, we've worked on our play calls, our blitzes, and all that, so that we make sure that we got it right, and so that we can get through that O-line and get to their quarterback.
Well, Brantley's got the kid over there. If nothing changes from last year, they're going to throw the ball a lot. He's got a pretty good arm, he does, and he threw the ball a lot last year. How you prepare for the passing game?
We worked on a lot of pass concepts these last few months, and we're just ready for it. We're ready to adapt to whatever it may come to be.
Well, tell me how your experience has been last year and this year playing for Coach Jones.
It's been great. I've had a lot of fun, and we've definitely got a lot more work in than these past few years. But the last few years have been fun. I've enjoyed it.
I will say this about my man sitting here next to me. When I got here, he was not moving very fast. And that was always my thing to him. Dude, I don't know how good you can be or not be, but you got to move faster. And I say that because I really do believe in every kid. Maybe every D lineman is not going to be Lawrence Taylor or Reggie White, right? Or every running back is not going to be, Ricky Williams or Fred Taylor. But there's something unique and special in every kid. And so whatever that is, give us that. And so I will say this about him. Yes or no, sir. Communicates well with me. And I'm really going to miss him because he's one of the kids that from day one till now has really gotten better. And so I'm excited, and I hope he takes that to heart. I'm excited for what he's earned the right to do this season. Now he's just got to go out and do it. And this is one of my favorite because I get to yell at him first when we start practice because he's a part of our specialists. And so usually I'm yelling at him to hurry up and snap the ball and then go back and kick the ball and then go over here. So he's one of the first people I see when I come out to practice. So I'm going to have all the fun I can have with you. Okay? But I've enjoyed you, and I love you, and I appreciate you.
Love you too, Coach.
Well, if you get a yes or a no, sir, consistently out of a kid, step one has been accomplished.
Yep.
Cool. Nickname for Friday night? I can put on the radio?
Not that I can think of.
So I would say, I can't really say taxi cab because we're in a new age. This is our team Uber driver. He does not mind giving a ride. He will go anywhere in Charlton County to give somebody a ride. So I appreciate him. I don't know. I'll come up with a catchy name, Sammy, but he's our team Uber driver.
Gotcha. All right, Jason. Appreciate you joining us. Good luck Friday night.
Thank you for having me.
And I forget, what do we call him? What do y'all call him? No, yes, and I don't know why. Come on in, buddy. You couldn't wait for this, could you? Save the best for last. Yeah, no. Right there. Yeah. Hamilton.
Okay. Yeah. Jordan, appreciate you joining us, man, on the Coach Jones Show.
He would like to be called Big J.
Big J. I'm going to put that down. I got you.
Hello, Big J.
What's up, Coach?
Big J, your senior year, open the week this week against Brantley County. I know you played against them before. What do you expect out of the Herons this Friday night?
I hope we win. Not give up on no plays, no mess-ups. I hope our offensive lineman block and our defensive line just get the tackles. And, yeah, that's it.
Well, I asked Joseph and him the same question. You're a senior offensive lineman. The play don't go unless the offensive line does their job. What have you guys got together and talked about this week on what you need to do Friday night to get a W?
Most definitely we got to talk on the line. If they don't know, they got to ask us. And if they need help knowing the plays, we told them to ask us. Sometimes we meet up and do our offensive plays and run through whatever we got to do.
Well, I know if I'm Amari, I want to line up behind you and run behind you, that's for sure. You are.
He tell me that every time.
Tell us how your last couple of years have been playing under Coach Jones.
It's been good. He be keeping us straight, always keeping us tough, never let us give up. He always teach us the right things to do, and not he always trying to get us the right path to go. And he really a good coach for real, and I like Coach Jones.
I like you too, buddy. Like's not a luxury, but I love
I
you.
love you, Coach.
Thank you for liking me. I will say this, that Sammy, there is one person, a little bit of trivia on my show. There is one person that Jordan absolutely, positively is terrified of blocking this season, but he's never going to have to block. Do we know who that is? He can tell you. He knows.
Who's that? Who is it?
Nobody.
Nobody.
I ain't scared of nobody.
You ain't scared of nobody.
All right. Well, let me give you a hint. Who is the one person you won't get the opportunity to block, but that you are just terrified of lining up in front of?
Nobody. I ain't scared of nobody.
It's me. You would hate to
put on the
line up in
pads.
front of me.
You got to put on the
Put on
pads.
pads?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll set it up. Okay. All right. Love you, man.
Love you too, Coach.
Jordan, good luck to y'all on Friday night.
All right. Thanks for having me on here.
Yes. All right, we're going to take a break real quick. We'll be right back.
Celebrate 80 years with Folkestone Furniture. Join us as we mark 80 incredible years of comfort, quality, and community. Looking for the perfect outfit, gift, or accessory? Come experience The Crossings, a locally owned boutique that's been serving the heart of our community for 21 years. From timeless classics to the latest trends, you'll find hand-picked styles and one-of-a-kind treasures that make every visit special.
Hey Indians fans, are you looking for a better banking experience? At Georgia's Own Credit Union, our goal is to save you money. We'll help you level up your game with better rates, lower fees, and easy access to your funds. With 29 branches and a network of over 30,000 ATMs, we're never far away. Best of all, we support the people, places, and teams that make Georgia great. Stop by our local office at 3773 2nd Street South in Folkestone to learn more.
All right, welcome back to the Coach Jones Show. I'm Sammy Hendricks along with Coach Jones and Adam Bell. Coach, we had seniors in here talking a little bit about, their specific positions they play and what they think about Brantley County coming up. But before we dig into Brantley County, we're going to talk a little bit about the scrimmage from the other night. It was kind of one of those odd scrimmages where, any player, anything happens with the quarterback in the backfield, if, they got pressure out of the pocket or decided to run, and they were automatically called down right there. Not a whole lot on either side of the ball, which I think if that would have been live, I think there would have been a whole lot more points scored, especially on our side. There was a lot of plays I think that we probably would have took the distance if we would have had a chance to do it. So talk a little bit about what you saw from the team in that scrimmage.
Yeah, so first thing I want to do is give, great respect, to my college teammate, Jackson Dean, who came over as the offensive coordinator from Cook County. He and I are VSU Blazer brothers together, and once a Blazer, always a Blazer. And so much respect to Jackson for the job, short time that he's been at Berry, and he's been there, I think, since early February. And I remember talking to him, just, hey, if I could help you out in any way. I was just in this situation last year. Once we say we love each other around that place in Valdosta, we always are going to love each other. And so I know that he beat the hallways to get kids back out that probably weren't interested. And they showed up and they played hard and they were enthusiastic from the time that they got off the bus until, the end of the game. And so hats off to him, to the direction that he's taken that program. And, I really hope that he continues to do well. That I love him to death, and he's an awesome guy. And so he's definitely got him playing hard. As for us, the difference that a year makes. You think about this last year, we were going into the Brantley game really as more of an unknown team than known. And, I talked to Coach Shores, Coach David Shores at Brantley earlier this week, and he and I have been friends for years since he was coaching at Lions and I was coaching at Valdosta. So we've known each other a long time and have mutual respect for each other as men and as coaches. And so, I don't know that they knew really what they expect out of us. And then, the ball kind of turned, and it was his first night as the head coach and my first night. And so it's just so many different things when you don't know what to expect for the first time. We had an inter-squad scrimmage last year, but we couldn't find a preseason scrimmage, and that concerned me because I knew we would have some things to work on really quick, but we couldn't have scripted. And I said this to Coach Shores, in all respect to him and the job that he's done there, we couldn't have scripted last year's game any better than what we did. And so I'm happy that we came out on the right end of things, especially when you're have a task of rebuilding the program, especially one that has so much tradition that we have here at Charlton County. And so I thought our kids did regular things that you do early in the season. We didn't have hardly any bad steps. We didn't have any pre-snap procedural penalties. We stayed kind of penalty-free, in the game, but just the mental errors and just busts of stuff that we had been doing as base stuff. But you want to do that stuff early in the season so that you have an opportunity to really assess, as coaches first, we're either messing this up because we shouldn't be doing this, or we're messing this up because maybe that guy just doesn't care, and now we need to get somebody else trained up. And I think, one thing that goes unnoticed in high school football, it's not like, in college, and it's not like in the pros where you've recruited and kind of built every little piece on the team together. That drop off from year 1 to year 2 may be significant. But the way in which we train our kids, the way we practice, how we cross-train our kids throughout practice, that enables to at least have another guy who at least knows what to do. And I'm really big on this. I want about 10 to 15 kids in each class, especially for such a small school that we have, 10 to 15 kids in each class. And I love freshmen and sophomores that at least are willing to go out there and play 100%. They may mess it up every single time, but they're literally willing to go wide open, because if you invest in that kid, and when I say investment, kind of one of the things that we're going to talk about later is what we're doing in investing in our kids each and every day at the end of practice. But the investment is real live game reps. Like, you as a coach, you want that starter in there every single snap, and he better give you his best. And he's in shape and he's in condition and he can go the distance. But here's the thing. All of our kids are going both ways. Just about everybody that we play, with the exception of probably Toombs County, everybody that we play is going to have multiple guys, if not the majority of their entire football team, playing both ways. You better have a plan in which way you want to rotate those guys. So we'll take lumps early in the year getting those young guys prepared. But come region time, they've played some football. Right. Their eyes ain't as wide. They may be a little less wide. And they may still be wide, but at least they've played, they've been developed. There's nothing like real life game experience. So I said this to our guys. I came in here absolutely just dejected after the game. You'd have thought we lost the state championship. But it was because we were keeping score, and in that segment situation, Berrien beats us 13-12. You could say a bunch of different things, and you recognize there were some things that we had open. There were some things that they had open. Kind of what we do in the backfield, being able to extend plays with our legs, probably opens up some stuff. But, when we were watching film, I didn't care anything about that. The whistle blew. We need to slide, or we need to be where we're supposed to be on this. And then on defense, your eyes are supposed to be here. They need to be there. There's no excuse. So we're not going to make any excuses about not having come out on the right end. We missed 2 extra points. There's 2 extra points. We win by 1. And then we're all happy, but there was more to teach off of out of that, because it's the scrimmage. Here's what we got to do better. Here's what we're going to work on. Here's where our focus is. Here's where our total focus is. And let's get all this other stuff out of our mind and get ready for this, first part of the season. I say this in all due respect to everybody else in the region. I don't know of anyone that has, maybe with the exception of Brooks, with the types of teams that they play. When you've been a bigger name school, it's going to be harder finding people to play at your level, because they know year in and year out there is no reload. There's no rebuilding. There's reloading, and we don't want any piece of that. We do have a tough non-region schedule, one that I'm really excited about, because it gets you ready to play in this region that we're in. And we can sit and look at this team in the region and that team and say, well, this team ought to be here and that team. And this region of football, as long as I've had the pleasure of being down here in a couple different places, you better be ready to play every night.
Right.
And you better be ready to play for 4 quarters, and you better have your stuff together. So, just excited we had the opportunity to go out and play and get some stuff on film and fix it. Here's the thing about, stuff being on film. Yeah, it's on film for the other team to see, but what's more important, that the other team sees it or that you have an opportunity to fix it? And so hats off to, Berrien for, being willing to play us and how they played and how we played. We played in some really good spurts. And it's something that you said a while ago to a few of the kids. I'm more excited to see as the weeks progress and as, we come in and we scheme. Yeah, maybe the basis of what we're doing is going to be the same, but you're going to get a different look in some form or fashion every week. So, that's one of the things that we're talking about as a quarterback club is we'd love to get the weekly coaches show back where, if you're joining the quarterback club and you want to come in and ask questions, I do this for a living, just like everybody else has a job and they do for a living. I just ask that people, remain respectful of me and our kids. But I would love to do something like that again to where folks have the opportunity to come in and, kind of have the, weekly huddle where you get to come in and watch film with the coach and kind of rub elbows and feel a part of the program. And so, I'm excited about even in year 2. I was talking to Glenn Hughes, doing an article for the Herald, and I asked him, I said, Mr. Glenn, since 12, and I would ask you and Adam, y'all have been a part of a lot of Charlton County football and a lot of good Charlton County football, and maybe some on the down years. The question since 2012, what's changed till now? And I know the longer you go outside of a set mindset, you start losing generations of kids. Every class of kids is its own generation.
Right.
You think about how your seniors act and how your freshmen, that's just on 2 different ends of the spectrum. And it's kind of like my mom and dad raised me a certain way, but I didn't get raised in the same time that they did.
Right.
But where the connection is here was the expectation when I was growing up. Here's the expectation when you grew up. And although I may have had access to like right now, I tell our kids, they don't really believe this, but it's the truth. Man, my dad's sitting right here in the room watching the show live. I didn't get a cell phone until I was 18 years old. And the only reason I hurried up to get one, I'll never forget it. It was January of my senior year, and we were going off to running a track meet in Miami. And my mom and dad didn't want me to go that far without being able to talk to me. And so I got old cell phone, had the cord on it I had to pull up, and I thought I was hot stuff. And then I remember the first time, my dad probably remembers that, you had minutes, but they were free after 9 o'clock.
Right.
And I remember the first couple times that I probably sat there right at 9 o'clock, and I got on the phone, and then they get the bill, and they're like, hey, dude, let's wait till 9:05. And then I'll never forget, maybe a year or two later, AT&T or whoever we were with up the time to 7 o'clock. So now you wait till 7:05, and then that phone's on the charge all night, and you're just talking to whoever's got
and
one.
if you get 18-year-old these days without a phone, you would have thought they lost their best friend.
So I say that now to say that we've got an 18-year-old in our house, our nephew, but the stuff these kids have is like, they're like, Coach, you don't know about that? And I'm like, no, what is that? Like all the different forms of social media, the phones, the iPads, there's so much stuff like even having a laptop, to me, like the laptop Adam has, that's to do schoolwork on. That to these kids, they're gaming, they're video editing, they're doing so much now. And so you really have to shift how you try to reach your kids now, especially when you're rebuilding a program, because they're here. This may not always be the most important thing.
Right.
And we want it to be the most important thing when they're here.
Well, just to go back and add to that real quick, you brought it up how much you like freshmen. 15 freshmen on the team or on the roster there. So a lot of young kids getting a chance to get on the field and play.
Yeah, and I'll say this, the days are out. And I remember when I was at Valdosta, when I was there, one of the most important things that I think I did was try to learn as much of the history as possible. And it was crazy to me when I learned that, football wasn't necessarily, and I'm talking about late 70s, mid 80s, football wasn't really year round. It was, you kind of got some time off and then you reported here. And when you reported, you were expected to be in shape. and then you started the weight rooms, and you were doing the 3 and 4 days like the old school. And I remember, you know, I feel kind of attached to that time because when I played at Raines High School, we did 2 and 3 days. When I was playing at Valdosta State, my freshman year was the last year we were allowed to have multiple practices in a day. And I thought Jacksonville, Florida was hot, but Valdosta, Georgia, in late July, early August is smoking just like it is here. And so I say all that to say, you know, having 15 freshmen on the team is awesome. And, you know, we probably could have had more had I said when school's open, come one, come all.
Right.
But I think there's something to the commitment that you have to make to being good year-round. Mm-hmm. You don't just pick football up and down in these day and ages. A lot of, because society has changed, kids are not driving around the community. Kids are not just out in the yard playing all day anymore because there's so much to do inside. And so you really have to make a commitment to football, and it starts in January. If you're not in the weight room, when we get to spring ball, Sammy, you don't play spring ball, just respectfully, I don't mean anything against you. I hope you come to the games and cheer us on, but I'm not going to let you come out. This is dangerous now. This is physical, mental, but more physical business that if you're not training every day, I mean, you shouldn't be out here. It's not safe. I wouldn't want to put a kid out here who just walked in the locker room in August, and then it doesn't say anything good to the kids that have, you know, made the commitment to be here. So as we continue to grow, do I want as many kids as we can? Yes, but I want as many kids who are willing to make the commitment to getting themselves physically in shape, but more so like all these guys that are willing to improve the mental aspect of things and all around. Because one of the things I'm most proud of when our kids speak about our program, either from stuff that people tell me or I hear them say it live, is that we're affecting them in a positive way in their life.
Right. All right, Coach, we'll move on real quick from that to the Brantley County game this week. You coached against Brantley last year. They got a kid that can throw the ball, and they got a bunch of hard-nosed kids in the backfield that run the ball. Offense line, they're just tough as nails. They're going to just, you know, they'll throw the ball a lot, and they'll get down and just grind it on the ground. What do you expect to see out of the Herons coming up this Friday night?
Well, I joked with Coach Shores about it last night, I believe, actually. And again, like I said, we're good friends. It makes it easy when you're playing against guys that you're friends with, and I say either friends or have a lot of respect for. They're a program, you know, in transition too, that's trying to get themselves back going. And you know, what was interesting in watching on the film trade is that they are, you know, they've kind of moved to some not necessarily triple option stuff, but some wing T looking formations. And so they're doing a little bit of, you know, ground and pounding, and they get in the spread, kind of similar to what they were doing last year. But just respect for how hard their kids play. I thought they played really hard last week against Frederica. I know they've worked really hard this off season. And so nothing but respect. What I hope for on Friday, outside of us, you know, taking care of business on our end, just like I'm sure that they do, is that, you know, we both stay healthy and our kids play hard. And we flat get after it. I'm so much more in tune this year to what it is we're doing, and are we going to give our best when our best is required? And your best is required when it's time to step out there. So I want our kids to play hard and just get after it, man. It sounds so cliche to say, you know, do you have to motivate? But I was never one when I was playing to be the rah-rah and hype guy in the locker room doing the yelling and slapping the pads. That didn't really get after me because I knew on Saturday or Sunday when we met as a team that on the next Saturday when I was in college or that Friday, business had to get taken care of. Right. And I was so laser focused, and I don't want to make myself out to be the perfect player because I wasn't by any stretch of the imagination, but I was the son of a coach, so it was a different expectation that you're going to watch film. When I ask you, do you know this? You know, even I think about it now, I'm still so close with my college defensive line coach, my college head coach, coaches at Lanier County, David Dean. Mm-hmm. My dad, you know, was very much still a part of my playing life when I was playing as a player in college. He would call me, and I would get off the phone and I would say, I know him and Coach Earl Chambers just talk. Because he'd ask, what are those old linemen doing? How wide are those splits? And he he knew the answer. And I'm like, dang, I can't never get away from this. But I say all that to say that was me. I didn't what I was wearing on Friday, if we were wearing a certain kind of socks. Now, Coach Tucker Pruitt, who's at Appleton County, and Coach Sherrod Reynolds, who's at Fitzgerald, guys that are at prominent programs around the state that were college teammates of mine. We joke about it now. Probably the only thing I ever remember about something I wore is we decided, Coach Dean, and I'll remind Coach Dean of this, don't let me forget the same when we play Lanier. Coach Dean let us wear red socks when we played University of North Alabama on national TV. And we got embarrassed. we got it handed to us, and we said, well, and our way of flushing it, and when I look back on it now about how I coach this team with our kids, having something unique to be able to look at kids when the outcome doesn't come out your way and say, that's your way of flushing it. And I remember Coach Dean, like it was yesterday, saying, well, man, that was about as bad as it can be, but, well, we won't wear the red socks anymore. Now, did we come in there on Sunday and get ripped about things we didn't do right and maybe not playing as hard here and there? Yes, but that was a way of leaving that scenario, that moment of saying, that ain't the end of the world, kid. You get another opportunity next week. What are you going to do about it? So I took a lot of those life lessons, and I'm happy that I'm able to pass those on to our kids.
Well, Brantley County and Charlton County, the rivalry has been there for a long time. Used to be every single year. We kind of got away with it for a couple of years, away from that rivalry. Now we're back at it again. One thing's for sure that you can count on. Indians going to go to Brantley County and expect to win, but Brantley County's going to be there, and to be a small school, they're going to be loud, and they're going to be hard-nosed. They're going to play tough.
Well, I remember last year the amount of people that they brought just because that was my first game as the head coach here. I wasn't shocked, but to come out and see, their side full and our side, just rocking and rolling, it was a really, really special atmosphere. Looking forward to the same thing on Friday night. Know that, and I really hope as many people come in support of the kids. When you're out there in these hot days in June and July, and you're not really thinking about the season's 8 or 9 weeks away. You're just thinking about getting done what you got to get done that day. It makes, when Friday nights come up for me, it makes it special when your kids come out, they see the community there, and they know folks are behind them, and it's time to go to war. It's time to go to battle.
Well, I got a bunch of friends and coworkers over there in Brantley County, so I need to keep the bragging rights up.
That guy's.
Coach, we'll go last subject here. You guys feeding the team all the time. You talk about it a lot on the show and out in the public. Costs a lot of money to feed these guys. You feed them, several times, probably a day, but feed them every day of the week. What can the football team use from the fans and public out there as far as food goes, feeding the players?
I would be remiss if I didn't. We just had a long Booster Club meeting Monday. I would be remiss if I didn't thank Mr. Brian Hewley, who's done this for over 30 years. I hear 32 and 35. He's done it a long time.
Right, forever. Yep.
And I just want to thank him. Our Booster Club's transitioning. We're making a major push to get as much involvement. I think at one time there was 200 Booster Club members, and we want to get it back to that. So we have some folks stepping up. I know he had a really cool title for himself. Mr. Benji Hewling is stepping up as the new president apprentice, as he called it. So I would be remiss if I didn't thank Mr. Brian for the years that he's just been the guy. And, we're transitioning. I think we're going to kind of spread the wealth out. Nobody's going to be able to do what Mr. Bryan did. It just takes time that we don't have, and this thing has to function. And so if I didn't start there, I would be completely out of order. And I've got to thank our school district for the commitment that they make during the summer, helping feed us really, really good. And I had some moms show me pictures of our kids from last year to this year, and just the difference. We have kids that have gained 40 pounds, and I'm talking about the little itty-bitty ones that we have that have gained 40 pounds in a year of lifting and running and eating. And, the nutrition and hydration aspect of things for us is really, really important, because for our kids, if they're able to get nourished, meaning they are putting food in their bodies at strategic times of the day, then the chances are that they're not tearing down muscle mass, but they're building muscle mass, or they're becoming leaner, or they're maintaining,
Right.
which for us is super important in this part of the state because it gets extremely, extremely hot here. So the commitment that our Fueling the Tribe group, who's led by Miss Nancy Zetmeyer, Joseph Zetmeyer's mom, Jay-Z mom, happy belated birthday to her. She's had a birthday. And her and Miss Katie Ruth Hewling, and just so many collections, Miss Miss Westerbeck's and Miss Cheryl Glover, and the collections of people that are here every single night. Our kids during football season, and I say during football season, from the start of spring practice to the end of football season, we're talking late April to hopefully what we all wish is the middle of December. Our kids are eating every single day, Monday through Friday.
Right.
They're eating. And so every day that we're in service with our kids, they're eating. And during camp, they're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so, that made me think of another. And I hate always calling names because you're going to miss somebody, but the Polk family and just all of the folks. It takes so much work. It takes able-bodied and able-bodied folks, and it takes folks that are willing to donate. One thing I can always tell people, the money that people donate to Charlton County football goes back to our kids 100%. I do believe that you've got to have, because I was raised up in this profession, at least at the high school ranks, by somebody that the code word for, he was Mr. Frugal, but Coach Rance Gillespie, who's now the head coach at Rabun County, took me under his wing when I was there, and I wanted to learn the business side of things. So a lot of the things that how I try to set a program up, I learned from Coach Rance Gillespie and Coach Alan Rodemaker, just on how behind the scenes that you make sure not only can you keep things afloat, but you got something for a rainy day, or if you've got something you really want to do. And it really is about prioritizing. What's the most important thing to me? Everything that's important to me has every bit to do with every one of these kids in the program.
Right.
So if I feed them every day, yes, I know that they go home and eat. That's important to me to know that we don't have kids going home hungry. But I know that we've worked them today, and they've also gotten fuel put back in them today. And so you can't put a premium on that. I mean, we look more like you would expect a football team to look just because they're able to eat. So they eat right after the workout. I mean, obviously they're eating through the school nutrition program during the school day, but they're eating right after workout, and then they're eating, if they want snacks or whatever, the stuff that we have, they're eating before practice, and they're eating a really big, like Wednesdays. Our kids hadn't even caught on to it yet because we kind of restructured some things with it this year, but Wednesdays are our, heavy carb day.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesdays are our grab and go meal, and then Mondays kind of set the tone and get in there and grub and get. So like last night we had like a Mexican rice medley, and it was good, and our kids enjoyed it. And so folks that want to help support, cash, check. If you're going to write a check, it goes to Charlton County High School football. You can turn it into the school, and like I said, we're trying to do so much to not just improve the experience, but the goal, honestly, Sammy, is to get us back to where we were. And again, I invite people, if somebody's got the answer from where we've fallen off, I'm trying to get us back there.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes time, and more so it takes mindset shift. And when things start becoming expectations and habit, then you've got yourself something, because now you don't have to tell a kid what to necessarily do.
Right.
He just needs to know it needs to get done, and he goes and does it. So I'm really happy in year 2 that, I'm not having to say, this is how this goes, or that how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm more so than anything, my wife and my daughter, I'm sure, are watching. My mom, my dad's here live. I will never forget these types of times, not for any special or particular reason, but my daughter was born my first, the week that I had become a head coach. And so her birthday is this Saturday, and, a win Friday would be awesome. But more so than anything, I thank my family for the unbelievable sacrifice that they made, not only being my village and raising me, but really giving me a great example on how to love others. And that's what we believe in, that Jesus Christ does for us. But teaching, instilling that in me, because I really try to spread that wealth out amongst the people that I have the pleasure to come in contact with. Still believe it's the highest honor to be the head coach of this proud program, and we're going to continue to work each and every day to get us back to where we all hope to be.
All right, Coach, anything else real quick before we get out of here?
No, I just everybody coming over, I was told by Coach Shores that tickets are cash only at the gate, so prepare for that. Always prepare for inclement weather here in this part of South Georgia. You're liable to be practicing in 90-degree weather, and then the next minute the sun's away and the rain's just coming down. So
well, that happened last year. We played them over there. We played Friday night, started the game, and we got a bad weather storm coming. We had to go back and play Saturday.
I remember being told that. And then just a special shout out to our Band of Pride and our cheerleaders, who I've gotten the pleasure of seeing both of them practice at some point. The band's been practicing out here at the on the track field, so getting to hear them during practice kind of gets yourself going. And shout out to our new. I hope to have him on the show one day. Our new principal, Mr. Tommy Harris, and our new assistant principal, Coach Zach Wittenberg, or Mr. Zach Wittenberg now, and all of our faculty and staff, everyone who just makes this place so special, not only to coach and for our kids to play football in, but just a special community to be in. So looking forward to a big crowd in Charlton County, and to hear our fight song played and get the season going. It's time to go to work Friday.
Well, speaking of Mr. Harris, he came up in a press box Friday night and said, we need another air conditioner up here. So we're going to hold him to that.
I got you.
Coach, thanks for joining us. And I just want to say real quick, got a good friend of mine that's having some medical conditions. Matter of fact, he has surgery today. Richard Brown used to be the county athletic director. So if you guys would keep him in your prayers, that'd be greatly appreciated. All right, Coach, we'll get out of here. Thanks for joining us. That'll be it for the Coach Jones Show. Open the week. We'll see you next